welcome to Rusted Junk. I know that some of you might be going, where the heck is season 6? I will tell you, it will be the next podcast. We will be recording season 6. We're going to start with Jaws 3. I'm going to watch it in 3D. Amanda's going to watch it in 2D because we tried to watch it in 3D. And after 2 minutes, she went, oh, this is giving me a headache. So she put the glasses away and I went, oh, well, that's good. So I'm going to watch it how it deserves to be seen, how it was seen in the cinema, how I saw it back in 1983. And Amanda's going to watch the 2D version, which isn't going to make an awful lot of sense because it was built for 3D. But in the meantime, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome back Joe from WDWNT.
Always glad to be here,
Oh, it's
Charlie.
great to have you. And, you know, we needed something while we rectified the 3D problem. And we thought, what better than to do one last hurrah? I know it's number 5. I know you might be waiting for the new season, but we think we might have saved the best till last. And Joe is going to introduce it. And as ever, Joe, I'm sure we're going to keep this short because we always try, we always fail, but let's see if we're successful this time. Who knows? But would you like to introduce what we are going to do today?
Yeah, we've been doing some popular movies from the 80s, which is a little different than what Rusted Junk was conceived as, but we love it. You know,
Yeah, it's
that
good.
we're able to touch on the fact that we're such lovers of 80s movies. And we got one of the big ones. And all I could say to you, Charlie, is who are you going to call?
Yay, Ghostbusters. Are we
That's
going to end up with something as good as Back to the Future, where we swapped them, John Cusack and Gene Wilder, for Martin McFly and the Doc, respectively? Oh,
I would say that there are people on here I would definitely like to see in this movie over the original stars.
wow. You're not going to be able to prize anybody apart from, you're not going to get me to admit Bill Murray shouldn't be in it. The others, okay, fair game.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well,
all right. Before this gets lost in the towards the end, because I'm always afraid that when we run late, we kind of speed things up. I wanted to bring up the music.
Okay.
And because this is a story in itself, and I think you're probably aware of it.
Is it Elmer Bernstein that did the music?
Well, no, he did the score, but the song for Ghostbusters.
And I can talk about the soundtrack as well.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, the song.
So do you know the history of what happened with Ray Parker Jr. and Huey Lewis in the news?
I did, Raise. No, then if you introduce Huey Lewis in the news, it's not what I thought it was. Please enlighten me and the listeners.
All right, so this was a big thing over here. Maybe it wasn't as big over in the United Kingdom, but in the United States, this made pretty big headlines. Is that Huey Lewis had sued Ray Parker Jr. over Ghostbusters because it was too similar to his song "I Want a New Drug," and he won. And it's an interesting story.
Like it.
If you listen to, I'll send you a video where you can listen to both. It does actually. I feel like that there were some people that said, no, it's a little too different. I would have given the money to Huey Lewis because it does seem like, it was ripped off a little bit,
Wow. See, I thought I knew those songs. Listeners, you've got some homework. Go to Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use, and play both songs. And then pause this, play both songs, and then go, oh, right, yeah, Joe was right.
And I'm not 100% sure about the history. I should have done my homework a little bit more, but I think that was it Columbia Pictures they had produced.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yes, it was Columbia, yeah.
They had approached Huey Lewis to write a song for Ghostbusters. Okay. And Ghostbusters was in 1984, right?
Yes.
I was looking this up before we started. And in 1985, he did The Power of Love for Back to the Future. And I think that this might have happened before. So he might have written the song Power of Love for Back to the Future, which was supposed to come out. But they had approached him to do Ghostbusters. And for some reason, whatever, he just didn't want to do it.
Wow, okay. So he could have scored two good hits then.
Could have.
Wow. Well, that would have pushed him
So
into the stratosphere.
so what they did was they got Ray Parker Jr. to do it, and he always says, "Oh, it only took me like an hour to write the song, and then like a couple hours more to complete it.
Right.
Finish it, keyboards, drums, everything." So it is kind of weird that Huey Lewis was approached to write the song, and then Ray Parker Jr. does it, and it's a ripoff of a Huey Lewis song.
Do you think? But uh, I Want a New Drug was that? When was that released? Same year.
It might have been the same year or the year before, because he couldn't have sued if it was afterwards. So it had to be released
Well,
before.
that's a big fu to. Oh, okay. We can't get Huey Lewis. We'll get this guy Ray Parker Jr. in. What's he
And if
done?
you,
Well, very
well,
little.
that's the whole thing, though. It's like, what has Ray Parker Jr. done other than the Ghostbusters theme? And it's so popular,
Well, that's it. I mean,
and it's a
he
good
can
song.
retire. It's a great song.
So it's kind of like, how all of a sudden, did he was he able to come up with this song? Meanwhile, Huey Lewis and the News, they had a ton of songs back in the day, which were very popular. So it does kind of raise some suspicion to it. And like, I Want a New Drug is, I know you're probably thinking of when it goes, I want a new drug, but in the background, it's going,
Okay, all right.
if you listen to it, it does sound a lot like Ghostbusters.
Wow.
So, anyway, so that makes it fishy that they had asked Huey Lewis and he said no. And then all of a sudden, Ray Parker Jr. comes out with a song that sounds like a Huey Lewis thingamajiggy.
Well,
Um, but another thing too is this guy. I'm curious what you would think about this. Did you hear who else was approached to write the song for
this
Ghostbusters?
might be the story that I know, but I've forgotten it. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was Lindsey Buckingham,
No.
because he
I
he
wonder
did
what story I've
Vacation.
actually got then, because okay,
Yeah, no, he did National Lampoon's
he did Holiday
Vacation,
Road, of course. Yes, he did.
and they approached him to do the song for Ghostbusters, but he didn't want to be looked at as a guy who wrote movie music, or songs for movies. So he
Right.
declined to do it. But I thought that could have been interesting. I do like Holiday Road,
Oh, it's perfect.
and I'll be honest with you, I like Ghostbusters way more than I Want a New Drug. I think I Want a New Drug sucks.
Yes, from what I remember. I mean, I didn't mind the heart rock and roll. Start sports, I think. Start of sports.
Yeah, no, he had a lot of. I had one of his albums, and almost every song on there is a hit.
I know, but it's lift music, isn't it? Stuck with you and
Stuck with You, yeah, and Hip to Be Square.
oh dear.
Uh,
I'm
I
going
don't
to bring
know.
out my inner Patrick Bateman, my Christian Bale, and start talking about hip to be square and start getting my axe and
Oh, okay.
doing a back shuffle American Psycho reference if you haven't seen it.
Anyway, they
Watch
were
with
very
caution. Yeah.
they were very popular back then. So,
Well, we had the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
mm,
And my sister was a massive because I've got two older sisters. One introduced me to Fleetwood Mac. The other just introduced me to pop and stuff, whatever. Um, but they were my sister Fiona was mad keen on a band called Air Supply. Uh,
oh,
oh,
good
right,
lord.
okay. So I grew up with an appreciation for Air Supply, and they had a song called "I Can Wait Forever," and she split up to her boyfriend, so I Can Wait Forever. So this thing went on all the time in the car, in the house, everywhere, and it's a pretty dirty song. Sorry, Fiona, if you're listening, but it's a pretty dirty song. But then so are all of Air Supplies. But I went to Vegas in 2005, and across the road from the New York where I was staying, Air Supply were playing.
Oh no.
But I didn't. No, wait a minute. I didn't go because I just thought, okay, and this is, I think if I remember, I YouTubed them and I thought his voice is shot, it's gone. So I didn't go. But the Air Supply were literally just over the road, and I still never went and saw them.
I couldn't grab the radio was it button knob or whatever you want to call it fast enough whenever I would hear them come on the radio. It just was,
There's a couple of good songs, Joe.
I'm all out of love. That's so,
Two Less Lonely People in the World is a great
I
song.
don't even know that song, but
Well,
oh, I
then,
couldn't stand them. You know, they sound a lot like Sticks, but Sticks was a lot cooler.
oh, okay. Apart from Babe, tell me another song Styx made.
Mr. Roboto,
Oh dear. Okay, two hit wonder.
Sail Away.
Oh, okay, three hit wonder.
You know, I could name a whole bunch
Okay, over
if you
here
give
we
me
Nick
some
we
time.
do Babe. That's it.
Yeah, there's Babe. Um, I'm not going to name them all because
Anyway, right.
let's get into the
Let's
why
let's
we're
get
here.
into it. Yeah, while we're here,
Okay. All right. So the big one, Peter
Bankman.
Venkman. So do you
Well,
know?
Bill Murray's just perfect. So whoever you're going to list now is not going to knock off the throne.
Well, do you know who the original Peter Venkman
No,
was?
this is where I am in your hands, Joe.
John Belushi. You never heard this?
No, okay,
Oh man, you're
no.
in for a little bit of
Well,
a treat.
call me a novice on this one then. Yeah,
Yeah, no. So originally, I'm not going to name the rest of the characters, but this was probably a different movie back in the day. Dan Aykroyd and what's his name? Harold Ramis were writing the script for Ghostbusters, and it was supposed to be, Dan Aykroyd was, I think, going to be Spengler, although they had other people in mind. But John Belushi was supposed to be Venkman, but he
right,
died while they were writing the script,
right.
and they actually they say that Slimer is supposed to be John Belushi.
Because the noise that Slimer makes.
Well, the look of him too. He's
Right.
kind of like a pudgy little ghost, and when he's eating that food in the hotel, it's
It's
kind of
like
like
Bluto from Animal House. Yeah.
exactly. It's an
Right.
homage to that cafeteria scene in Animal
Okay.
House. So,
See, I could think that worked because the Blues Brothers is pretty much perfect. It's just a wonderful film. But then 2 years later, they did a film called Neighbours, and I know I watched that about 6 weeks ago. Um, very, 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 very strange film. But the two of them were so well together that
they
yeah,
were very
maybe
good.
yeah,
And they were in Saturday Night Live, the two of them together. They were the originals. Well,
mm,
Bill Murray was too, I think.
yeah,
But they were great together, Belushi and Aykroyd, and they just gelled off each other. They're kind of like Laurel and Hardy in a
mm,
way. So who knows? I
yeah.
mean, but it's hard to imagine anyone other than Bill Murray. I understand what you're saying,
Mm.
but
It's just part of it. If you take him out, then yeah, we can play around with the other names. But okay, John Belushi, I can see, but would I want to replace him? No, not really. I think when you've heard Bill Murray sing Star Wars, the Star Wars theme as the lounge singer, that might be
oh,
one of the funniest things. And
you got to look up on YouTube. Bill Murray sings this as the lounge singer. He sings Jaws.
does he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta see that then. I can never get that out of my head. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Yeah, that's.
That's just genius.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I
Okay,
always think of that when I'm watching Star Wars.
me too. Oh dear. Right.
Um, but the one thing about Bill Murray, again, he's a great comedian. I love him in a ton of movies that he's done in the
Yeah.
80s specifically.
Well, he's up there for those that are viewing. There he is. So yeah,
Okay.
it's from Stripes. So Bill Murray is always watching over this podcast.
But he has been known to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because prior to that, what did he do? He did Meatballs and he did Stripes, right?
Meatball Stripes, Caddyshack.
Oh, he did Caddyshack before Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Caddyshack was 1980. Um, oh, there's another film. It doesn't come to mind, but yeah.
Yeah, well, he was a bit of a prima donna, like where he was unreliable. And I think even like the first day of shooting of Ghostbusters, he was hired, but they weren't sure if he was going to show up. Like no one could reach him. He
Right.
never got back to their messages, but he ended up showing up. But that was the type of person he was. And then he only did the movie because Columbia said that they would finance his remake of The Razor's Edge.
Yes. Yeah. I remember
Wait,
hearing that.
yeah, he wanted to show his dramatic side, which I don't know. Is he won an Oscar? Was it for that?
Lost in Translation.
Yeah, was
I
it?
don't think he did win the Oscar. I think she won Best Supporting
But he's mostly in
Actress.
artsy movies now,
Yes.
or art house movies, if you
Yeah,
want to
we're not
call
going
them
to
that.
get What About Bob and all those
No,
delightful.
and it kind of sucks. And Jim Carrey went the same road, and so did Tom Hanks, where they were
Mm,
comedians, and they're like, "Well, I'm more than just a comedian. I'm an actor." And but we ended up missing out a ton of real funny Bill Murray stuff that we could have seen,
yeah.
which is kind of sad.
I know people that go The Life Aquatic, that he played the character that he plays in that film. And they say, "Oh, it's genius in that film," and I'm like, "God, that film bored me to death.
I couldn't even finish watching that
Oh,
one.
it's horrible." Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this actor will come up. By the way, it's just while I've refreshed my memory. When I was looking for doing some research for the future episodes of the podcast, did you know they're making Beverly Hills Cop 4?
Oh yeah, no, I knew that they released a
Why
poster
didn't?
for it too. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the, what? And apparently, Rosewood and Taggart are back.
I wasn't familiar about
Yeah,
that.
they're both. There's a picture of them, and
Oh yeah.
John Ashton has aged as you would expect. John Ashton appeared. He looked 65 already.
Hmm.
Judge Reinhold, yeah, he must live next door to a really nice chicken place. Is all I can say because life has not dealt him a healthy hand.
And the last time I seen him was on Seinfeld, and
Right,
he just
he's
never
a
really
big
had much
lad
of a
now.
career.
Is Judge, but I I looked up the it was a family in distress or something like that, and I'm like, can you just leave Beverly Hills Cop alone? It was bad enough. I've still not watched the sequel to Coming to America because I just can't face it. Like
It
Bill and
could be.
Ted, I haven't seen that either. Bill and Ted one.
I
Anyway,
wouldn't bother with that
we
one.
need to get back on. I know we need to get
Yeah.
back on track. Right, sorry,
All
it's
right.
my
So
fault.
this guy, again, you're a big fan of this guy.
Okay,
Michael Keaton was offered the role, and he declined it.
that'd work. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I can imagine it. So if you can imagine Bill Murray doing his um when he's trying to impress Sigourney Weaver outside the place where she's come out because she's a musician and he's doing that little jump thing with his leg. I can imagine Michael Keaton doing the stuff that Bill Murray does and doing it pretty well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No, he was a lot funnier, I would say, back then. He did Night Shift.
not funnier
Um,
than Bill Murray back then, Joe.
no. I'm saying he was a lot funnier back
No, he's not.
then.
He wasn't funnier than Bill
No,
Murray back
I
then.
agree with that. But yeah, no, I would prefer Bill Murray over Michael Keaton. But
Hmm.
what confuses the hell out of me, and I think we might have discussed this on some of the other what ifs, is that he was offered other roles and he turned them down. It's like, why would you turn down? You're Michael Keaton, you're a comedian,
Yeah,
and the guys from Saturday Night Live come with a script where you're basically going to be playing the main character and you turn it down.
yeah, it's a bit harsh.
Kind of it makes me wonder about the guy. You would think that he'd be dying just to play anything in any kind of movie. I mean, he got Batman towards the end.
Yeah, but isn't he like a bad omen now?
Yeah.
Because every film is The Flash and Batwoman. They're both going to one is cancelled, the other one is probably likely to be cancelled. It's just like right,
Hmm.
I'm never putting the cowl on again.
Oh. All right, another guy. I don't know if you're particularly a fan of him. I know you like some of his movies. Chevy Chase.
No, I'm not a fan. We've discussed this plenty of times, Joe. I'm not a fan.
Well, you like
He's
Vacation,
I like Vacation. Yeah, that's it.
Christmas Vacation.
Well, I like the Vacation. I guess I even like Vegas Vacation, but more for Wayne Newton than anything else. I'm a
Caddyshack.
big Wayne Newton fan. That's not. We discussed this. It's not his
It's not.
film. It's not his film. He is a cog in a huge machinery, which is Caddyshack.
I don't know. I kind of
Rodney
disagree with that.
Dangerfield is the star of that.
You think Rodney Dangerfield is more of a star than Chevy Chase in that movie?
Yes,
I
yes, I
don't
do.
know. I mean,
Because every time
Dangerfield
Rodney
was great.
Dangerfield comes on, every time he's on the screen, he is perfect. He is loud, he's brash, he's obnoxious, he's funny. All the things that Mandy hates. She said, "I'm never watching a film with him in ever again." So I'm not allowed to do Caddyshack with her. So when it comes round, we will end up doing it. Or Dom. I think Dom would come on that because I think he loves that. Um, but yeah, Chevy Chase. Apart from that, as I say, if I ever see Fletch again, it'll be because I'm tied down and I'm in a jail cell and I can't escape.
Well, like when the marquees would be out, like when you would go by a movie theater
The the what? The
back.
Marquise.
Yeah, like where it was like basically showing what movie was playing in this theater,
Oh right, yeah, yeah,
all in lights. I
yeah,
mean, I remember they would say Chevy Chase in Caddyshack over here. Maybe again, he was probably a little bit more popular over here because of
yeah.
Saturday Night Live, and he did host Weekend Update and all that. But what else did he? He did something with Goldie Hawn, Foul Play.
Ugh.
You know,
I'll tell you
he
what I watched yesterday: The Man with Two Brains with Steve Martin.
yeah.
That that's comedy. That is a comedic actor. That's just I forgot about a lot of the lines in that film.
That's good.
Oh dear me. That I just smiling from ear to ear.
Duke, 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 Duke of oil.
I don't want to screw a gorilla. You paraphrasing. um, anyway, right, back on
Right.
track, Joe.
So he
Joe,
was
we
he was
never we'll never get this
yeah,
done,
you're
mate.
probably right.
Seriously.
So he was offered the role and he
Yeah.
declined it. No, so what do you think about that?
He declined it. Great. Wonderful.
Well, do you think he would have worked at all?
No, not at all.
I think he would have worked, but again, none of these I can see being better than Bill Murray.
He would have played Clark Griswold and it wouldn't have worked. It's not what that's not what it's for. He's not a he's he doesn't do Shakespeare. He's not a versatile actor. Whereas I think
No,
Bill
agreed.
Bill Murray is and I know Quentin Tarantino disagrees, but you watch Groundhog Day and you watch the emotion that's in that, and you watch everything's going. Well, it is. It's better than anything Chevy Chase has ever done.
You're trying to say that he's a virtuoso by his
Not a
performance
virtuoso,
and
but it's better than anything Chevy Chase has done. Lost in Translation, that was great.
no,
I
I
enjoyed
mean,
it.
well, no, I thought you were specifically taking Caddyshack as a point of view,
No, no,
and
no. The Groundhog Day.
Bill. Oh, Groundhog. I thought I was thinking. Sorry, I got
Oh
movies
no, no,
confused.
Groundhog Day. I thought was
I
brilliant.
was thinking of his role as the what is it, the groundsman in
That's
Caddyshack. I
right.
was like,
You want me to
but
kill
no,
the golfers? I'm sure that they need to be here. No gophers, you idiot. So yeah.
well, yeah, he's well, Groundhog Day. That was his vehicle.
While
But
I was
I
talking about wait a minute, you just reminded me. I worked. Somebody's worked out how long he was in Groundhog Day for. How long he repeated the same day.
oh really?
So what do you think it is?
Well, I don't think it's measurable because I don't think we saw all the days that he repeated.
No, that's true. We didn't. So Harold Ramis was asked in the start of the century, so 2000, and said how many days? And he said, "Oh, I think it's about 10 years that he's in
Oh
there."
wow, I didn't expect that much.
But somebody's worked it out and said if he gets good at ice sculpting, if he gets good at the piano, if he gets good at all the things that he gets good
Hmm.
at that he has to do, even if he works in parallel, they've done a huge. Go online and look at it. It's a mathematical calculation they've done of 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 everything. It's 34 years
Oh,
that
that's
he that
interesting.
in days. So that's how long he's trapped in Groundhog Day, which doesn't make any sense because then you'd have gone stir crazy after about five.
I don't know. I think I might have liked having something like that in Groundhog Day. Just
Well,
being able to start the day over and over again.
you probably go and say hello to the waitress every time.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
But anyway, so
He was hotter
Chuck,
than Andy McDowell, but anyway, let's not
yeah,
go there.
I would have went after someone other than Andy McDowell.
Right. Anyway, we have
Um,
got a podcast about Ghostbusters. Sorry, Joe. I keep derailing you.
sorry. Oh no, I do too. But the problem that he said that when he saw Ghostbusters, it was a completely different movie than the script that he was given. The
Right.
script that he was given was much darker. It was much scarier. And that's why he declined it, because it was less of a comedy. But I guess
Right.
they worked it. The movie drastically changed after John Belushi died. We'll get into that too.
Okay.
Uh, so another guy, Steve Guttenberg or Gutenberg. Don't
Uh,
even think about it.
wait, isn't it? I'm thinking about it. You're telling me it, and I've got to
I know I can see
process
by
it.
your face that you're
No, I've
thinking
got to
about it.
process it. I'm thinking about it because no, because he didn't do a good film. He didn't play any other good character that I enjoyed, including Cocoon and Three Men and a Baby. Even Three Men and a Little Lady. He's the weakest thing in that by a country mile. But he's good as Mahoney. And could he have done Ghostbusters? Absolutely not.
I think he sucks. I never liked him in
Oh, come
anything.
on. He's good in
Even
Police
Police
Academy.
Academy. Well, I think it was, a decent movie, the first one for sure. I think anyone could have played his role, and probably anyone could have played it better than him. Like, could you imagine?
Nobody
Can you?
mugs like Steve Guttenberg,
I don't know. You
Yeah.
don't think Bill Murray would have done a better job?
In Police Academy.
Yeah, would have been a classic, more of a classic.
No, because he would have looked too old. Bill Murray going after Kim Cattrall in what 1982? No, 1984. Police Academy.
Well, he could,
No,
yeah, it would
no.
still work. Back in the 80s, they didn't care about age.
True. Okay.
Uh, Tom
Next.
Hanks. Tom
No,
Hanks.
no. Well, that's an easy one. I hope you could measure that in nanoseconds.
Well, I would have been faster with Steve Gutenberg,
Well,
but no, I agree with you. Tom Hanks. Well, he might have worked, but again, nowhere near as good as
Bachelor
Bill
Party,
Murray.
good. Hasn't made a decent film after Philadelphia. I know that's controversial. And don't get me started on Forrest Gump because you know where I go with that and it doesn't end well. So, Bachelor Party, Tom Hanks, even that one, which I enjoyed. No,
Toy
definitely
Story.
not.
He was
No,
good in Toy Story.
no.
Yes,
He's
he
good in
was.
Toy Story. Provides a voice to an animation team.
Yeah, but without
That's not
his.
a performance.
Yeah,
Any
but he.
animated thing is not a performance, which is why it never gets an Oscar or a Golden Globe because you are a voice behind a thing. Don't get me wrong. I think there's some great voices. Maya Rudolph. Is it Maya Rudolph in Big Hero 6? I love her in Big Hero 6. Can I stand her otherwise? No.
Like, what did she do in that movie? She was the ant.
Yeah, she was the ant. Yeah, she's good. I'm gonna get some
Uh,
wings and we're gonna get some hot sauce. Rah. Right? Brilliant.
all right.
Loved it.
Robin Williams.
I suppose after all those no's, I might have to start going for no. Do you know what? For the same reason why we talked about Robin Williams before, no, he's not allowed near iconic characters. He's created some of his own. Let's like the Berlin Wall. Let East not mean West.
I mean, if you look at it back in the 80s and even beyond, how many movies he was rejected for? I just think they felt he was uncontrollable.
Yeah, well, he was.
And hard to work with. Which I don't know if that was true, but I just think, and I know Bill Murray, I think ad-libbed almost the whole movie for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, probably about right.
But Robin Williams definitely would have too.
Yeah. It's great in The World According to Garp, which might be my favorite Robin Williams film.
But no, I thought it was interesting because he eventually was another one that he wanted to get into serious acting, and I do like some of his movies. I know you're not.
Don't
a
say
fan
Dead
of
Poet
them.
Society, otherwise this
No,
ends. This ends now.
no, I liked Awakenings. I thought he was good in that.
Right, okay.
And Good Will Hunting.
Ugh.
I think he might have won an Oscar for that.
I thought it was The Fisher King. He was all right in The Fisher King.
I never saw that one.
That's good.
Anyway,
Okay.
all right. So that's
Okay.
Venkman.
Wow. I thought that would go on for
No,
years,
actually,
to be honest.
I think he was the one that had the most.
Okay.
So Egon Spengler.
Ah,
Was
see that now again. You're in hallowed territory. I mean, I love the two of them. You know, they are cheese and pickle.
cheese and pick. Oh God.
Yeah, cheese and pickle, a cheese
Oh
and pickle
my
sandwich.
God.
They are they work
Oh,
together.
that would never enter my mouth. Give me cheese whiz and anything else.
Wait a minute, no, no, we're not going down into the. I'm not getting schooled
Cheese and pickle. Good
by the
Lord.
US on culinary
That's
standards.
culinary. Pickles is culinary.
Wait a minute. When I say pickle, when I say cheese and pickle to you, what pickle have you got in your head?
Like the green, ugly, disgusting one
Oh, right, no, 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 no,
that's in a
no.
jar.
No, have you ever seen Branston pickle?
No,
Oh,
but it's a
so
pickle. You
no, but
know?
it's cut down into cubes, and it's in this kind of like sauce, like brown sauce type thing. It's if you have a plough, did you ever when you came over to the UK, you never had a ploughman's
No,
lunch?
I hate pickles. First of all, I don't like the
No,
look
but
of
it's not
them.
pickle. It's not like a pickled onion, or it's not like pickle or anything like that. It's not like pickle Rick. It's nothing like that. It's pickle. Go and have a look at everyone
I'll
in the
look
UK.
later.
Right, everyone in the UK at the moment. It's maybe not screaming at this, going, "Why doesn't he know what pickle is? A cheese and pickle sandwich is." And everyone in the US is going, "Joe's got a point. What the hell
Yeah,
is this? What the hell is this
it's
guy talking about?
so you're saying it's not green in your sandwich?
It's not green at all. No,
Oh, okay.
it's brown. It's in a sauce."
Oh, well, all I know is that if I was in the UK and someone said, "Oh, look, here's a lovely cheese and pickle
Oh
sandwich I
God,
made for
time for the
you,"
accent again.
I'd
Right,
be
yeah.
like, "I'm fine, I'm good." And it's like, "Oh,
If
but
you
it's
had a
rather
proper
lovely."
cheese and pickle sandwich, you would go, it's amazing.
I would never have it. I'm
Well, you
telling you
would
right now.
if you
No,
ever
I
came
wouldn't.
over. If I come over and visit you, I'm bringing a jar of Branston.
And bring a gun loaded because that's the only way I'm going to eat it.
Right, we'll have a cheese whiz and Branston pickle party.
All right, so
Yeah.
I don't know how
Right.
we got onto that
Oh,
one.
Egon Spangler. The two of them
Oh
together.
yeah, all right, all right.
They're stripes. So it's just
So
reunited them.
somebody was offered the role before him.
Okay.
Michael Keaton again.
No, see now that wouldn't have worked.
So he turned down Venkman and Spengler. What's
Wow.
wrong with this
What's
guy?
wrong? Exactly. What I am wondering now. What is wrong with him?
And after hearing that, I was like,
He can't play a straight man.
and I love him as Batman, but after hearing about that, I'm like, I guess I'm okay with the Flash being canceled and Batgirl. Well, Flash is still not canceled.
Joe.
Well, how could you be so arrogant and obnoxious? You know, you would think that he didn't have much to go on, and it's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay out of this Ghostbusters thing.
Oh, he's
But
great. He's great in most things, mate. But, okay.
anyway,
Anyway,
um,
you need
yeah,
hopefully a list of these people that you're going to read out. Some they're not all comedians. They're actually people
no,
that could play a straight. Okay,
no, there's
Jim Wilder. It's Jim Wilder. No.
no, that would be a good one though. But a lot of those people were on the list for Doc Brown,
Okay.
Christopher Walken.
Still walking. Yeah, if you want kids to not sleep at night. Yeah.
I could
Can you
see him
imagine him
more
doing it?
as
Yeah.
yeah, I can kind of see him more as what's his name? Oh man, am I missing him?
Who? Walter Peck.
No, Harold Ramis. Um, let's
Okay.
see.
What?
Harold.
Christopher Walken. Let's move on. No.
All right, but so, all right. So there's Venkman, there's Spengler, and then there's
Zed Moore
huh?
and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh, I got everything mixed up over here. I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
getting Spengler confused with Dan Aykroyd's character because Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis wrote the script for it.
Okay. All right.
But originally, like Dan Aykroyd was always going to play. I what is his name?
Oh man.
This is bad. We're doing it.
I know.
an episode on, and I know when as soon as I see it, I'm gonna go. Uh, but anyway, you look it
St-
up.
Stance.
Yeah, I thought it was Stance, but what's his full name? Does it say?
Dr. Raymond Stance.
Ray Stance. Okay.
Ray. Yeah.
All right. So that was decided upon. He was going to be Ray, because he was writing the script.
Yeah.
It was him and Belushi were going to be, Venkman and Stance.
Yeah.
So, but the Spengler part wasn't decided. Harold Ramis was writing it. He didn't want to really be in the movie. He just wanted to write it. So again, Michael Keaton was offered the role and he declined. And then Christopher Walken. So yeah, I could see him.
So wait a minute. Michael Keaton was offered 3 parts in this.
No, he was offered the parts of
Spengler and Venkman.
Venkman and Spengler. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Wow. Who else have we got for Spengler?
No, I'm saying Christopher Walken. You couldn't see him.
No.
I could.
Scary.
Like with the funny hair, and his eyes and all that. And that deadpan face. I definitely could see him.
Yeah, but he doesn't strike me as like a scientist type of guy. But Harold Ramis definitely does.
John Lithgow.
That might work. Might. Doesn't instantly come to mind, but I could see it working better than Christopher Walken.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of
tall,
can't
though.
see it.
Too tall.
I can't really see it though. Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, because at that time we didn't know. So yeah, let's be positive about it. If we nicked his role in Back to the Future, we should give him one in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no, I could see him.
Yeah,
because he would play a similar character.
but he plays character in the Dream Team, whereas the kind of like very rigid, very not stuck up type character.
It's so funny that you mentioned that movie a lot, and that just didn't do well over here.
I don't know why.
I had to look for that.
Stephen First, Peter Boyle, Stephen First, Christopher Lloyd, Michael Keaton, and the Dream Team.
I had to look for that movie, and the reason why I looked for it is because they announced that Michael Keaton was going to be Batman, and I was like, all right, I gotta rent all of Michael Keaton's movies that I haven't seen just to see if he might be able to play Batman.
Well, Dream Team was 2 years later. It was a year later.
Was it?
Yeah, 89.
Well, then it was. What was that one where he was? We talked about it. No, he was an alcoholic.
Oh, Clean and Sober. That was the
Clean and Sober. Yeah, I think that was one of the ones that I had rented.
Right.
No, that was before. I definitely was before.
No, that was after. That was about 94, I think. 93, 94.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it's before Batman. But anyway, we're not doing good with our homework. Or I am.
Well, I am.
Anyway.
I know I'm right. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
And this next one, or the last one, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it too. They're almost identical.
Yeah, and you get that sort of yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's be kind. It's Jeff Goldblum after all, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see him. I like Harold Ramis's voice a little bit more.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Where I think that Goldblum would just talk really fast,
Yeah,
but he could play a scientist. I could see him.
he could.
Winston.
Eddie Murphy. I know this one already.
Oh, so I see. So
yeah, I do know this one.
So tell me the story of Eddie Murphy.
I don't know the story. I just know he was up for it.
All right, so yeah, he passed on it. He was supposed to. It was originally supposed to be. The original Ghostbusters was supposed to be John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy was supposed to have a bigger role. Well, the character of Winston was. Right. So I don't know if he was supposed to enter the movie before they started being the Ghostbusters, because when Ernie Hudson took it, it was like halfway through the movie when we got to see Winston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a paycheck involved. do whatever you want. I'll say whatever you want me to say.
That always felt out of place, that he just came in the middle for some reason.
Well, no, that's a bit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I always felt it was an afterthought, and I guess in a way it was. They had to change the script after Belushi died and after Murphy. So what did Murphy decide to do instead of doing Ghostbusters?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep.
Perfect choice. There's no question.
True. No, I no,
Beverly Hills Cop's iconic. It's just
and that made him a millionaire. I don't think Ghostbusters would have made him a millionaire.
no, and maybe he wouldn't have got the same chances, maybe because he'd be seen as a bit player. But then by that time, he'd made 48 Hours, Trading Places.
Mm.
Yeah.
Who was supposed to be Beverly Hills Cop before him?
Oh, we did do this. Can't remember.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, definitely not.
Well, it wouldn't have been a comedy. It would have been more.
No, it would have been
Probably been like Cobra.
Cobra. Crime is a disease, and I'm the cure. Dear me. Dear me.
But I do
Okay.
think he would have been a better Winston.
Well, I can't forgive him because he's making Beverly Hills Cop 4, so he's
but
persona non grata.
I'm not, giving him forgiveness or anything. I'm just saying that he would have made a better Winston. I just think that he's got better comic timing.
Because then you've got Ernie Hudson. Then next time that I can remember him appearing was Leviathan.
Yeah, he's been in like
for those
minor
people
movies
that go, do you know what? I've just stumbled upon these What If podcasts. Maybe I'll go back and listen to some of the earlier podcasts you do. And we do see a bump. We do see a bump in sometimes, and then suddenly one of the podcasts will explode because everybody seems to be listening to it, which is great because I think it must appear on a directory or something. But the only podcast that I would say, unless you're feeling really happy and you want to feel really sad really quickly, don't go and listen to Leviathan because we both hated that film, and it was such a chore making it. That's the only podcast I'd recommend you don't go and listen to.
Never seen it.
Ernie Hudson in that, Peter Weller, Ernie Hudson, Richard Crenna, Lisa Eilerbacher, who was in Beverly Hills Cop, who played the person at the art thing. Should work on paper, worked, was abysmal.
Yeah, decent cast.
Yep. Daniel Stern, Miles from Home and Away, Home Alone. Yep. Should work, didn't work.
Louis Tully.
Okay.
Do you know who?
Yeah, see, I've never been a huge Rick Moranis fan. So I'm willing to have my mind changed on this one.
First person that was approached to play the character was John Candy.
Yep. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have worked in the. Do you know what? It might have worked as the guy next door, the real geeky guy, and yeah, actually, that would work because the only running around he really has to do is when he's being chased by the gargoyle dog. That's the only thing.
I think it would have worked. Did you ever see him on Second City Television, John
I
Candy?
never did. No.
Yeah, and he plays some nerdy characters on there, and I could see him as an accountant, heavy guy with glasses. Just got to put glasses on him.
He was a nerdy cop in National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah, but he was actually the problem. Is that he kept pushing that he wanted the character of Tully to have a German accent and for him to have a pair of dogs, and they kept telling him it's like, no, that's not what we want, and he kept pushing over and over. And they said, we already got dogs in the movie. It's just going to be too much. And it sounds like he didn't relent. So that finally they said, you know what, we're just going to go with somebody else. And they went with Rick Moranis, and he said yes immediately.
See, that's weird because in The Breakfast Club, Rick Moranis wanted to play the janitor with a different accent, in a different way. Yeah. So that's weird.
That is weird.
Okay. Another one for Louis Tully?
No, that's it. Universes colliding there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll say yes.
So Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah. Well, this is where I might get myself in trouble, so I'll just put it like this.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sure that Sigourney Weaver she's a wonderful actress, but I can't see her in a romantic lead. Let's put it that way. Was that diplomatic enough?
let's see. What you're trying to say is you didn't like her in Ghostbusters?
No, I didn't think that she was all right. She was okay. She's Ripley, you know. So and she's brilliant at that. I
So
can't
did you
imagine
see?
anybody.
So I guess you saw Alien before you saw
I
Ghostbusters.
did, yes.
So I saw Ghostbusters before I saw Alien.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I thought she was attractive. I thought she was good in the role.
Right.
You
I
know,
think
she
she's like
was.
Andy McDowell. I don't consider her attractive,
No, I
but I
consider her
know that a lot
attractive,
of people do.
and she's sophisticated too.
Yes. Yeah,
She
absolutely.
can play that. Yeah, she's no dumb blonde or anything
Rubbish in
like that.
Avatar, but then everyone was rubbish in Avatar. So
Yeah, I didn't like her in Avatar.
yeah.
So anyway, Julia Roberts auditioned.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm gonna say yeah. I kind of like that. I'll still never forgive her for Pretty Woman or My Best Friend's Wedding, which might be the worst film I've ever seen. Um, but she's Notting Hill. Yeah, yeah. Go on, Julia. I'll give you that one. Yeah, I
No,
think so.
I'm not a fan of Julia Roberts, but
Notting Hill, Joe. Come on. I'm not being
mm,
funny.
no, didn't like
No,
it.
what?
I didn't like it.
All
Sorry.
right. Okay. Boo, Joe. Everyone in
Oh,
the UK
but I
likes
like
Notting
Pretty
Hill.
Woman. I thought she was good in Pretty Woman though.
Oh, awful. Anyway.
But that movie, she was like Jennifer Lawrence back then. Like once she did Pretty Woman, they put her in everything, and I was like, ugh, she's
Yes.
not that good, you know.
No. Aaron Brockovich.
But I do think she probably would have done a decent Dana Barrett.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Daryl Hannah,
Yes.
yes,
Absolutely. And a better one than, yeah, definitely a better one.
I could see that too. I could see her playing the cello. I could see Bill Murray falling in love with her. I
Oh, I've,
think
I've got Daryl Hannah in a film where she just plays the Dana character, and why have I?
was it Roxanne?
That's it. Yes,
I just watched that
that's it.
recently.
Oh, isn't it so good? 20 insults. So I've got to think of 20 insults
Yeah,
for my nose. That's amazing. Um, yes, I definitely let's replace Sigourney Weaver with Daryl Hannah. That would
I
definitely work.
I would agree with you there. I would say yes.
Okay.
Denise Crosby.
Tasha Yar from The Next Generation
Yeah.
and Miracle Mile, of which she acknowledged when we had a Twitter account.
Uh,
I said her performance in Miracle Mile always stands out to me as one of the best. And she replied, and she sent me a message back saying thank you. I don't get a lot of acknowledgement for that film, and I'm really
that's
proud of it.
nice.
Absolutely, yeah. I got a
And
reply
you
back from Ernie Hudson, despite the fact that I said, "Can you promote a film?" In which basically we slate everybody and the film, and he still
really?
went. He still went. Yeah, of course I will, and he retweeted it,
That's really
and I was like, "Oh,
nice.
that's nice of him." I really feel bad now for what I
No,
said.
I
And
remember, and you had John Cusack too, right?
yeah, John. Yeah, I've got a thanks, man, from John Cusack. Little things, Joe.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed, dude.
Little things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well,
she
if I
was
started the
in.
podcast up again, when I did Moving Target, so way back when, you got China Phillips from Wilson Phillips, who at that time had been in Say Anything and 16 Candles, and basically was starting a film with Jason Bateman in a straight to video. But I did that as I think our third or fourth film. And I ended up copying in all of the actors, like that had probably forgotten they even made it on Twitter, and I didn't get any response. And I thought, can I not even get the hitman? He must be like a realtor or something like that now. He must be something else. And he must go, nobody really asked me about Moving Target. No, I didn't get anything. I would have expected Jason Bateman to go, oh, yeah, that film. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
dreadful. Tom Skerritt. I even asked Tom Skerritt because he plays his dad.
Oh yeah.
No, didn't get anything from Viper.
He's like, delete.
Come on.
um, yeah, but I could probably see Denise Crosby.
Yeah. Uh, yes, because she has got that hard. See, I see Sigourney Weaver as quite hard. I see her as quite tough, independent, and all of that because of the character of Ripley. It's perfect. If you came next and said, "Oh, Linda Hamilton," I don't know if Linda Hamilton's on your list,
No.
right? But Linda Hamilton could do that because you only see her as Sarah Connor in the Terminator films. But I remember from Dante's Peak, and I loved that. And I know you're going to give me a hard time because it's got Pierce Brosnan in it, and I don't care. I love Dante's Peak, and I think both the leads in that are work perfectly together. So yes, I can see Linda Hamilton in it, even though it's not on your list. So for that reason, I'll say yes to Denise Crosby.
Okay. Kelly LeBrock.
Hmm. Yeah, for the same reason as Daryl Hannah, I think that she could bring a different kind of element into it, but not a very intelligent one. Even though I seem to remember
Well,
she had a
she's
degree in something.
French.
She had a degree in something, didn't she? She had a PhD or something like that.
I
She
don't
was
know.
quite clever.
Is she British or is she French or a combination of both?
Kelly LeBrock
Yeah.
was well, she might have been born in France with that name, but she's one of us.
She's one of us.
One of us. One of us.
She's not one of me.
No, well, she wouldn't. Yeah, she wouldn't want anything to do
She
with
used
you,
to live by
brash
me.
Americans. Well, she might have done. Was that with Steven Seagal?
Yeah, they had a house not too
Right.
far from where I lived.
Oh, that lucky man. Anyway,
Um, yeah, I could see her. I think that she
yeah,
could
yeah,
play. She was attractive back then for sure, and
yes.
she could play sophisticated too. I think.
Uh, yeah, give me another film that she's in apart from Weird Science.
Woman in Red.
Okay, give me another film apart from that appalling film, Woman in Red.
Is it Hard to Kill?
Oh, listen to me. Now you're going to the Steven Seagal stuff. You go
Nicole
straight
had
to
to. What do
that.
you want me to
Well,
do?
the versatile actress. No, but she'd have brought a certain something to the role. So yeah, I'll have to reluctantly agree with you. But yeah,
Well, no, that British accent has got a lot of cachet.
yes, true.
And I think that she would have came off as sophisticated. It's not like she had a Cockney British accent. What would you call someone like her? Like with a aristocrat, uh, aristocracy. Like classy British accent. What do you call that?
Aristocrats or aristocracy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But is there a name for it other than like instead of Cockney?
posh.
Posh. All right, we'll say posh.
Yeah,
I could see it, but yeah,
as we used to call them in the 80s, a Sloan.
I think you said slut.
No Sloans. Sloan. Yeah.
All right, so this next one, there's only one other person,
Okay.
Janine, and that
Oh
was
well,
Annie
and
Potts.
see, I'm a big Annie Potts fan because of Pretty in Pink. But yeah, okay.
She was in Pretty in Pink.
She was. She played the owner of Trax Records.
I don't know. I only saw it once, and I
Right.
wasn't a huge
You need to go and
fan.
watch it again,
Sorry,
Joe. It's a classic.
nah, it ain't happening.
Right.
I put that on my pickle list.
When I show you what a cheese and pickle sandwich looks like, you'll go, I'm going out. I'm going to the. I need you to go to the supermarket to get a jar of pickle. And
It's amazing
in
how your
fact,
mind thinks.
if people listening to this want Joe to go and get and make a cheese and pickle, not cheese with proper cheese, proper pickle, proper bread, none of this processed rubbish that you have over there, a proper loaf, a sourdough with butter and cheese and pickle. My goodness, man, I want one now.
It's not happening.
Well, if I get five people right in on
No,
Messenger, then Joe
no,
is going to have a cheese and pickle sandwich.
no. I have no. I mean, other than I'm a guest host on here,
Joe, let the fans
I'm not
speak.
you.
Let the
You
fans
have to do
speak.
things.
Right. Well, what can I do then?
What's your favorite cheese?
Mine,
Yeah.
That just made me think of Monty Python. Wensleydale. Oh, I'll have some of that.
Oh, that's
No, that's my name, Mr. Wensleydale.
isn't that
Oh,
Wallace and Gromit, Wallace's favorite cheese?
no, that's a well, it's Stinking Bishop is the cheese that's in there, but
You know what my
uh,
favorite is?
what?
Good old American yellow cheese.
That's like Gouda. It's like plastic
It,
cheese.
and it's got to
That's
be
stuff you put
individually
on your wall.
wrapped. Yeah, processed cheese. I'm
Oh
fine with
my
that.
god! Just in case somebody listening to this hears a rumble in the background, the Earth just moved on its axis from Cheddar, the home of cheese. After what Joe's just said, that he has the pick of any cheese in the world. You can have Roquefort, you can have Brie, you can have Wensleydale, you can have Port Salut, and any of the wonderful cheeses that are around here. Stilton, and what does he go for? Yeah, I like my cheese in a can, or I like it wrapped.
Yeah, Kraft American cheese.
That's
This is
not
how,
cheese. That's not
and
cheese.
this is how I would eat it. I would have a piece of bread,
Yes,
two pieces
processed
of
bread. Yeah,
yeah, probably
yeah.
two pieces of American cheese, another piece of bread. That's it. In mouth. That's it.
Wait a minute. It's a dry sandwich. Do you put
Not
butter on it or marge?
no, not if you have a glass of milk. No, I don't
What?
put butter on. I never.
What?
No one puts butter on their cheese over here.
No, you put butter on the bread. That's how you
No.
make a How do you make a sandwich? You put butter on the
All
sandwich and
sandwiches?
then
All
put your filling.
sandwiches?
Yes, you put butter on it and then you put
No,
your filling
we
in
don't
and then
ever
it's a
put
sandwich.
no. We put, bread, meat, bread. That's it. No
Dear
butter.
me. Do you know what? Forget Ghostbusters. I'm finding this culturally illuminating, enlightening, shall I say?
Well, I
Because
am
how
not
can you
your.
have a sandwich without some form of spread? Because otherwise, it's a dry sandwich.
That's why you have a drink when you have your sandwich.
Why do you drink when you have a sandwich? What's wrong with you? You eat the sandwich, then have the drink. You don't sip it because your bread's so dry that you need to lubricate it with milk. What? What?
I don't have
What?
to drink it. I don't have to have a drink with it, but I've had cheese
See, if you didn't
sandwiches.
tip all the tea into the Boston Harbor, you would have been having proper sandwiches by
So
now.
when you have peanut butter, I mean, do you add butter on the peanut butter too?
Yeah, I've got peanut PB and J mixed in a jar. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah,
Would I put that on dry bread?
yeah.
Never, never. Why? Because you put the butter on there because it's
You
not a
put butter on
sandwich.
there first?
Well, you put marge. I put spread on there.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Man, you guys waste butter.
Well, right. I need some help here.
I
I
need your
know
help.
Dom is sitting here either laughing or he's spitting his tea out and going, I don't get that.
Wake up, Amanda. Tell her to come in. No, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I will tell her.
Butter.
I tell you, I will tell you her reaction when I go down. I go, she'll say, "How did the podcast go?" If she's busy tonight, she's doing some work, and I go, "This," but I've got to tell you, Cheese Whiz has now been upped. They don't put butter on the sandwiches. If she's taking a drink at that time, she'd go, and it's just spill it everywhere.
The only thing I use butter for is for a baked potato.
Yeah, well, yeah, corn on the cob.
Uh, Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Toast.
Sorry, what's toast again, Joe?
It's bread
It's bread.
that's burnt.
Oh, so as long as it's
Yeah, but I'm not putting cheese on there. I mean, if I had cheese, but burnt toast.
would you make a
Let's move
would you
on.
make a toasted cheese sandwich with no butter?
Toast. I don't know. I don't think I'd make a toasted cheese sandwich. I'd make a grilled
Oh
cheese
God.
sandwich. I don't want to get. We can get into
Okay.
this off the
Right. Sorry,
podcast.
sorry, listeners. If you're still listening, I applaud you. But
All right. So
okay.
so Janine was played by Annie Potts, and you said you're a
Yes.
big fan of hers.
Yes.
So I think this actress was originally offered the role, and she declined. Sandra Bernhard.
That would have worked.
Way
Um,
better.
yeah, I'm a big Sandra Bernhard fan because of Hudson Hawk.
I could just see her hair. What
Yes.
it would have looked like.
Yeah.
And her lips.
And she would have done the whole Ghostbusters. She would have done the we got one.
Did you ever watch David Letterman?
No, we didn't get it over here.
She was a frequent guest on him, and she is hysterical. She's just
Right.
great. Anyway,
She's Madonna's girlfriend at one point, wasn't she?
yeah, she was. And then Rosie O'Donnell stole her away.
Oh dear. Less said
Big
about Rosie.
mistake.
Less said about Rosie O'Donnell, the better. Right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
We got a couple. Well, actually, one more.
Okay.
Gozer. So,
Okay.
so Gozer was originally supposed to be played by Pee Wee Herman.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was offered the role. Where he was, I guess, going to play the human form, like he was a caretaker
Yes.
of. Gozer took on the form of Ivo Shandor, the Ghost Building's architect, was which was started the original Gozer cult.
Okay.
And he resembled a pale, slender, unremarkable man in a business suit. Um, and he was going to be Gozer.
I like Pee Wee Herman.
You do?
I do like Paul Rubens. Is it Paul Rubens? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't like Big Adventure.
I like all of I like all the Pee Wee Herman films.
Really? I wonder who I'm
Yeah.
thinking of. Who
Hmm.
doesn't like him? But anyway, yeah.
Probably
Was
everybody
he?
else. Amanda can't stand it.
Maybe it was Amanda. Um, was was that character in Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Uh, whose character? Uh,
Well, the head of the
goes.
cult. Yeah, like the guy who was buried, J.K. Simmons. He was in the
No,
coffin.
no,
That wasn't him.
no.
Okay.
Don't believe so. Have we come to the
Anyway,
end? Have we come to the end?
yes.
Okay. Oh, we got there. That's about,
Hmm.
around about an hour. Probably just a little bit over. It would have been
Yeah.
an hour if we had talked about
Cheese
cheese.
and pickles.
I mean, there will be people there going, I don't know how you can't know what Branson is. Do you know what Heinz? Do you know what? Do you know? Do you have baked beans?
I don't like beans. I've never eaten them.
You've never eaten baked beans?
No, I've heard of beans and toast that you guys so love over
Oh,
there.
with some grated cheese on top.
Yeah, I would pass on that one.
Oh. If you ever come over here, I've already got 2 meals sorted for you. If you come and stay in our house.
You got a McDonald's by you?
Yes, we do, but it will be closed, Joe. I will give them a picture and say you can't serve him unless it's pickles and beans.
You don't have that much clout over there.
You see, I'm the man about town, Joe.
But no, but seriously though, so do you have your peanut butter and jelly in one jar?
Yeah,
Holy crap!
Smuckers. It's a Smuckers one.
No, I mean I've seen it like in the stores, but usually people don't buy it.
Right.
Over
Yeah.
here. I
Just
mean, so you
ready
normally
made.
buy it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I have it. Yeah.
I don't like jelly either. It's like if I have a peanut butter sandwich, I just have bread, peanut butter, bread.
You're a tough crowd, Joe. Tough
I
crowd.
am.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's it. The end of What If. And we might introduce it back again because do you know what? I really kind of like doing this. Because we do go off on a tangent. Again, for those who have just tuned in, this is how we talk. One day he'll go, I was wrong about Piers Brosnan and the Bond, but not
That ain't
not
never
not
happening
not this
too.
time. But then
That's on my pickle list too.
when you pick, is that now what it's going to be called? The pickle list. I like that.
Yeah.
The next time you hear my dulcet tones will be with Amanda, where, as I said at the start of the podcast, she will be forced, and I think it might be forced, to watch Jaws 3, but there's a story why Jaws 3 has to be the opener to season 6. So tune in next time and we'll tell you all about it. There's a lot to cover, and it's all good. Trust me. But anyway, where can everyone find you, Joe, if they want to? As I said, I was listening to your podcast this morning in the pool, and it was wonderful.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm the host of WDWNT Nerd Alert, and you can find me there. It's on iTunes, Spotify, most places that have podcasts, like if you're interested. And yeah, you can email me too at joe@wdwnt.com. If you have any questions about Marvel, Star Wars, Disney.
Tell him how much you don't like She-Hulk. because he's coming round to it now. I think he's realised that the first episode might have been the Emperor's New Clothes, and the fourth episode.
I like the fourth episode. I like the fourth episode.
Didn't like the third though.
No, I didn't like the third one.
Twerking, Joey. That's what we want from our She-Hulk
Well,
series. We want some twerk.
there's 9 episodes. 3 of them I like. So we're getting close to it almost being
Wow, we might break. You might actually break even.
3 out of 4 I like. I don't know. I think it's a very good possibility that I may look at this as a success.
Well, I'll talk to you at the weekend when
Okay.
I've seen episode 5. Dragged to see episode 5. Anyway, right. Bye, everyone. See you for season 6. We're going to have a lot of fun. I promise you. So, cheerio. See you later.
See ya.
Cheers.